everyone, SimsyClay here and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are finally furnishing my 10-minute build challenge. If you've been watching my channel, then you know a couple weeks ago, I think it might be even 3 weeks by now, I did attempt the 10-minute build challenge and I failed. I didn't even furnish one room. Well, I guess I kind of put a bed, and so, I mean, that means the bedroom's functional, which means, okay, I'll give myself the one room, but I didn't finish the exterior, I didn't finish anything in the interior, and I told you guys I was going to come back and finish the house, furnish it how I would have if I had actually had a proper amount of time. So here we are. It is definitely more of a modern build. I was still on my modern kick when I was furnishing this. I also believe I technically furnished this before Snowy Escape came out, because this was supposed to be the video that I posted the Sunday after Snowy Escape came out, because I totally forgot that Snowy Escape was coming out. So I had that whole week of videos planned. I had Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and then Monday completely planned, completely filmed, edited, voiced overed, and everything. Except for this one. I hadn't done the screen cam for this one yet. And then Snowy Escape came out and I was like, oh no! I was like, I need Snowy Escape videos. I can't just post these random videos and then start Snowy Escape like next week. So I rushed and I got out quite a few Snowy Escape videos, which thank you all for your love and support on those. Those, honestly, I was really proud of those builds because that really isn't my style of build. And I was really happy with how a lot of those turned out, and I was trying to be as respectful and as like knowledgeable about like the culture and stuff so I could make those builds properly. And I'm really happy with how much you guys have loved those videos, and I'm still really enjoying building with that pack, so do not be surprised if you see a lot more on my channel, especially since it's coming up into winter time now. But anyway, I just wanted to go off on that little tangent there. But yeah, so this video was supposed to go up almost 2 weeks ago and it just didn't. So here I am, it is 9:30 in the morning, I have my coffee, and we are sitting here and furnishing this house. So I real quickly just added some exterior elements to this house as well. The front of the house looked really bland, it was just like this really tall piece of building, so I did add a little bit of a trim and then an extra roof feature just to kind of break it up. And I'm doing some more modern-esque landscaping, you know, hedges and some rocks and stuff. And pardon my screen, so I was building this inside of a household, and my game is in the fall season right now, so everything kind of has this like haze over it, so I do apologize that everything looks a little darker than it usually does in my builds. I think it was even raining this day in the game that I decided to go in and furnish it, but so yeah, I do apologize about that one. And then out front here we are just doing some, I don't actually think I keep those, I'm pretty sure I get rid of them. Oh no, maybe I do keep them. I could have sworn I got rid of them because I didn't like how they looked. I'll probably get rid of them before I put this up on the gallery. I'm not the biggest fan of those. But anyway, we're just doing a little seating area up front because we did have the space for it. And then I decided going into the interior, I decided we were going to start with the bedroom, which is the room that I didn't finish that we were in the middle of doing when I stopped my 10-minute build challenge. So I did just real quickly come in here and I added a feature wall just to break up the color scheme a little bit. And then I'm using the Eco Lifestyle bed. I didn't want to change, so my goal was to not change any of the furniture that I had placed during the challenge. I wanted to kind of just mess with what I had chosen. So I'm leaving the Eco Lifestyle bed and the Seasons dresser, and we're just adding a couple of curtains. I also believe I end up adding a seating area in here. Now this is though like these curtains are like the one decision in this house I do not like. At the time, I was really feeling these curtains and I didn't want to use the same curtains that I always use, which are those Eco Lifestyle ones. So I was like, yeah, we'll just go with these. These are nice. They have this like lace detail on them, but you can see them from the window outside and they do not look like they match the house at all. So I was a little annoyed while taking the screenshots that I had chosen to use those curtains, but I think the bedroom as a whole turns out really nicely. I used that city living chair that I never use over in the corner, and it's in this like weird flower, like blue and white flower pattern, and then I have the Eco Lifestyle shelf and like a nice fur rug. I I didn't think that this would be a two-sim household. I was definitely thinking maybe someone who was like in the fashion career or the stylist career, and they had their house and they were single and they just had all their money and they were, you know, living their high life, living that good old life. But I definitely, because it's definitely one style throughout the entire house, so I didn't think that it would be two different people like meshing their styles together. I definitely thought it'd be more along the lines of one. And then going over here, we are going to we're going to use this City Living mirror, which I've been using in a couple of my builds recently. This was actually the start. If you guys notice that there's things I'm using in here that I've used a lot on my channel for the past couple of days or weeks, that is because I used them in this build. You guys just didn't know that. So there's a lot of things that I used in this build that I totally like forgot we had in game or weren't used to using, so I never really picked them out. And then I did this build and I was like, oh my god, those are so cute, and then I went to just keep using them. And so it looks like I'm just doing the same thing I have been doing, but in reality this is like what started all of that. And then I'm trying to find a picture frame to put over here. I was having a real hard time with decorations in this room because I wanted to kind of stick with the blue theme, and I didn't want anything to be too modern. I didn't want it to be like cold, so I did go with this city landscape. I thought maybe they had lived in the city initially, like when they were first starting out in their career, and then when they, you know, got a couple more simoleons, they got some more money, they decided to move out and, you know, buy themselves a nice home. But that was maybe like the cityscape of where they had lived originally. And then in here, I changed up the color a little bit. I added an extra bookshelf, but it is the same Parenthood ones that I had picked before. And then I think I added a computer into here. I don't think there was one when I finished up the build challenge, but the desk is in the same space. I always like putting my desks in front of mirrors. And then I'm just using that little ottoman thing that we got with kids stuff, I think it is. And then a couple of pictures just to cover up the wall. I almost ended up putting a window there, and then I remembered that that's actually into the bathroom, and having a window into the bathroom is not something you want to do. And then over here, I actually end up moving that one bookshelf and adding an easel because I put some of those, those canvases from Eco Lifestyle in a couple different places around the house. So I wanted to kind of give a story as to why those canvases would be there, so I did just add an easel real quick. And then going into the hallway area here, I cut out me building that little plant structure you guys can see in the corner of the room because I end up deleting it, so it's not really that important. And then I'm just doing a couple of different decorations. I really don't like hallways. That's why a lot of my builds are open living. Like in real life, I would not have an open floor plan. I like the almost just like the coziness of like the more closed off traditional builds, but I hate decorating hallways in The Sims, and that's why I always do open floor plans because I just can't do it. But now we're going into the bathroom. I do leave that shower. I do change the color of it though because I liked those red curtains from Eco Lifestyle. So that's the other reason why I don't like the curtains that I put in the bedroom, because literally it was that one room where I said, no, I'm not using these Eco Lifestyle curtains. I'm not gonna do this. And then every other room in the house has the Eco Lifestyle curtains. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, why? Why did that one room where you can see it from the outside have to be the one where I decided I wasn't going to use the same curtains? I was just so frustrated. But now we are downstairs, and the door to the downstairs actually doesn't exist. I totally thought I had placed one, and then I hadn't, and after I built the kitchen, I didn't really have anywhere to put one, so I was like, okay, well, never mind. You have to go around the front to get to the backyard, which wouldn't have been that big of a deal if I hadn't put a pool in the backyard. Because, I mean, in what reality do you have to go through the front door around the side to get to your own pool? Like, that was just a little excessive. But going over here, this is one of my favorite living rooms I have ever done, and I don't even know why. I mean, I used this Eco Lifestyle table, which I don't think I've ever been able to use before because it's just so big. And I use a mix of Eco Lifestyle chairs and couches too. Like, I'm using this long white one, which I don't think I've ever used that color before. And then I'm mixing these two chair colors because one of them's the blue that's on the blanket that's sitting on top of the couch, and then the other one is the white of the couch to match. And then I just place a couple of decorations. Everything's very minimal, everything's very modern, but I don't know, it still just looks so nice. It looks clean. I think that might be why I really like it, because it looks clean, and I get enough decorations around that it doesn't look cold, but it's not my usual, you know, farmhousey type of a feel. And then over here I was going to build a custom television thing for this TV. Does not work very well. I end up deleting it very quickly after I build it. I like had this idea. Does that ever happen to you guys? Do you ever have this idea of like what it looks like in real life and what you want to build in The Sims, and then you do it and it just doesn't turn out properly at all? Let me know in the comments if you do. But like, that was this. I just had this idea of this beautiful, like, warm or cool toned brown, like, built-in custom unit for this TV, and I just did not like how it looked. I couldn't do it. So yeah, I was even going to try and add these like bookshelves, and then when the bookshelves weren't working, I was going to see if I could do the counters or the cabinets that went with those counters, and it just didn't. It wasn't working. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, I did say it was 9:30 in the morning. And the funny thing is that I'm usually up, so I get up at 6:30 every day, so I've already been up for like 3 hours. I go on a nice little morning walk. Some of you have seen pictures from them on my Twitter, and then I come home and I sometimes work out. I used to work out when we were under lockdown because I had nothing else to do. I worked out every day, literally every day, and then I went back to work and I was just like, nah, I'm not doing that anymore. But I still work out on the occasion, and then usually I sit down here and do The Sims until I go to work, because that's the hashtag full-time job and Sims YouTube life over here. That is, I usually play The Sims from like 8 to 11, like playing, editing videos, building and stuff like that, and then I leave for work at 11, and then I come home at 10 o'clock at night, and then I go to bed and wake up and do the whole thing all over again. So that's usually my schedule. And then, anyway, going back into the build, the living room has come together. I talked over just a couple of like the extra decorations, but you saw it right there, just how like kind of cute it all looks, because everything is like matchy, but not like super matchy. And then into the dining room we go. I used those eco lifestyle windows, and I didn't realize that they had a pattern on them until I came into the inside, and I actually really like it because the pattern almost matches the color that's on the actual walls, so it kind of just like cohesively flows. And then I'm using the Seasons table with the eco lifestyle chairs. This is like my favorite combination right now because the wood tones almost match exactly through that table, and then the eco lifestyle chairs, like every swatch almost has an almost exactly matching pair. So I think that they just look really nice together. And then over here, I end up building a little bit of like a storage thing. I end up getting, you know, my custom storage thing in here. I put these two hutches against the wall, and then I put like some shelves in between them, and I just line up some, I think it's shelves. It might be a table. It is a table. I merged this table into them so it looks like a shelf, and then I just place a couple of different decorations around. You know, some cards, some paper plates, and napkins. I figured this person would entertain a lot, specifically for their job. And then just a little bit of a clutter decoration item on the bottom there, just to kind of fill in the space. And I also figured that maybe they had just bought this house, so there'd be a couple of things, you know, still running around. Oh, this is the plant that I put in and then delete. So I was going to use this plant. I used it in the dining or the living room, and I was going to put it in here and like kind of just change the base of it, but I wasn't liking how it looked, so I did end up just deleting it. And then going into here, this is the kitchen. Now it is a really cute kitchen. It's really long, and I know that I've had a couple in the past 2 weeks. I've had 2 builds with like gigantic kitchens where there's no reason why you'd need that much counter space, but this one, to me, because those other ones were like squarish, so yeah, they were big long ways, but they were also big this way. This one is like just like this super long rectangle, so it's not my favorite shape, but I think it works for the shape of this house, especially seeing as this had been a 10-minute build challenge house. I think that it works just fine. And then I'm adding some cabinets just around the window. I haven't been using cabinets recently because the Snowy Escape Pack came with shelves. And so I just haven't been going into the cabinet section. Even on my builds where I'm not using the Snowy Escape, I haven't really been, besides my dream house that I did on my channel, because I would have cabinets in my dream house, I haven't really been using the cabinets. And so it's kind of funny to look back and go, oh yeah, I guess I've just kind of left all those walls completely bare. Way to go, Emily. Congratulations on that one. And then we're just cluttering a couple of things up, and for the past couple of builds of mine, you guys have noticed I've had to cut out quite a bit of my cluttering because their builds are just so long, so it's kind of a breath of fresh air to get to come back here and watch a build where I actually got to keep in my cluttering because it didn't take me that long to do it. But yeah, and then I'm just adding just a couple more. You know I love my clutter. It's always hard to find things to talk about when you're just cluttering up builds. Like, that's why sometimes I prefer doing face cams, because then, like, I can go and have a drink of whatever I have next to me, and you guys know that that's what I'm doing. But if it's like a voiceover and I don't know what to talk about, I have to make something up. I can't just stop talking for 5 seconds to go, like, get a sip of water or my coffee and then just, like, let you guys watch the video, because you don't know what I'm doing. For all you know, I could have just, like, died and, like, fallen out of my chair. And so I always feel really weird. But during, like, these things, like, it's like we're having a conversation, and normally in a conversation, people do take pauses. They take sips of their drink. It doesn't matter. You guys can see me, so you know I haven't just toppled over out of my chair. But yeah, I don't know where that came from. I think it's just because I've been doing so many voiceovers. This is like my 3rd one today, so I think I'm just done talking. It's like, can I just sit here and drink my coffee with you guys while you guys watch me do this video? But this is the downstairs bathroom, and I did put a bathtub in here. Now, I was talking with someone at work, and they said that it was really weird that in all of my bathrooms in my Sims builds, I put showers or bathtubs. Like, I don't ever have just like a half bath. But I feel like half baths in The Sims are pointless, because A, for gameplay purposes, you want as many showers as you can get, and B, like, there's no point in having a half bath because it doesn't really matter, because your guests will use whichever one they're gonna use. Like, even though we say that this is the one for guests, your Sims guests are gonna use whichever ones they want, so it really doesn't matter. But now we're outside and we're just putting the pool together. But besides that, that is it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!